The Generation Cowboys and Sports Talk. My dad, my partner, my co-host, CowboyJoe 64.
am your father.
Just to get the Cowboys two good games to hopefully understand that they need to go receiver and go high with this next pick.
Yeah, yeah, that's really what this is gonna be about. All right, what to do, people? You're looking live at the Generation Cowboys and Sports Talks. I'm the host, DJ Itelluwhat. I'm joined with my co-host, my dad, Cowboy Joe 64, aka Capricorn 1 on Twitter. And we are back with another one with our Saturday Night Live. And I think it's gonna be a good one. You want to say what's up to the people and kind of break the ice?
What's up to the people? Welcome to the Saturday night show.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Tonight, I was looking at, well, one of the things that came out is the coaching list. The coaching list came out, the official coaching list, and I feel like that's a pretty good list. But one thing I wanted to talk about was what exactly do we think the Cowboys need to do as far as drafting and as far as free agency and as far as trading for players or whatever to make sure that they are just as good as the rest of the NFC East and the NFC next year. What did you think? And then also I want to talk about adding Myles Garrett to this team, that it can be done, number one, and that would that be a smart move to quote unquote, trade your, or get him like a first round pick or a second or something like that for Myles Garrett? Would that be a smart move?
Well, I think I've seen a couple of people that say, it can be done. I know I heard that the salary cap implications for Cleveland would be like something they really would be kind of a hard fit for them. So, how are you kind of seeing how it's going to be done? I think it's a stretch.
I think it's a stretch simply because of who we are. I think it's a stretch because of who our front office is. I don't think it's a stretch for the Eagles. I don't think it's a stretch for Washington. They can do it. That's the thing with these NFL teams. If you want to do it, you can do it. You can make it happen. It's not going to be. It is a hard implication or a bad implication for the Browns, but Howie Roseman will make that better. No, so that's how you do it. You go in and you just say, hey, what do you all want? Let's start here and let's work our way back down until we can come to something that we can agree with. But as far as the money goes, the money will work. You can always make the money work. I talked to someone on Reddit the other day, and I was just telling him, when it comes to the Cowboys, we should never talk about money. And really, we should never talk about money when it comes to any NFL team, because any NFL team can make anything work by manipulating the cap if they want to. We can hit a couple switches on Dak and CD contracts, sign Micah Parsons, cut Terrence Steele, and have $120 million just like that. And you ain't even got to cut Terrence Steele. You can just do restructure that contract, restructure CD, and sign Micah, and you got over $100 million right there. So there is no, and with that alone, you will have enough money to sign all your free agents that you want to keep that's on your team, that's on your roster. You will have enough money to sign your draft picks, and you will still have enough money to give somebody like Myles Garrett a contract. So there is no excuse. They can do it if they want to. And I think, like the Eagles, they pushed all their money out to like 2032 or 2030. We could do the same thing. And if we did it with one player or two players, it wouldn't make a difference. So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, and I think that I think you could sign, any player, and then you're talking about what you got to give up too. So I think like you said, for our team, what you're looking at is kind of a deal where they're going to have to take small steps this off season. We're not going to be able to think too big. They're going to have to just do something for them. It's just going to be taking small steps. That's doing some free agency, and just making some smart moves. Really, they backed into a corner with the roster. They got so many people that are coming up that are going to be free, so they're not going to be able to go on vacation like they normally do when free agency starts. It's pretty much going to start March 1st, so we're gonna kind of see where they are. So we gonna do a mock draft, and so the coaches, we were telling Star, and shout out to Star. It was a great show with her the other night that we did. We're gonna do something else with her, and try to do something with a couple of other people. But you know, uh, they have to really, at this point, they backed into a corner with the coaching staff. I think they got things kind of moving in the right direction. The person that I'm still concerned about is Eberflus. So the offensive side of the ball, I think that they're doing something that we've been asking them to do for years. That's something that's outside of the box, that's innovative, especially with the line coach and the offensive coordinator. And then Shimko is going to be the quarterback coach. I think that's going to give Dak a new set of eyes that might help him out. And I like the way they kind of going with the college coaches, because the college game is really, it's kind of what's driving offense across the board for college and pro. So I like the way that's shaping up.
And just so we can show everybody, when you look at this is Cowboys experience. This tells you right here that they are absolutely trying to make a sea change, and they're trying to do things different. Well, even if they're not trying to, it's going to be different, because these are these coaches. It's their first year with the Cowboys, most of them. So your average coach on this team, from what I'm looking at right here, your average coach, this is their first year here. So this is going to be a new culture for the Cowboys this year, based off what we're looking at right here. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You got 14 first year Cowboy coaches on here. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So out of 26 coaches, you got 14 that are new, that it's your first year. So that means that over half, your 55%, 60% of your coaches are new. This is their first year. So that's going to be a breath of fresh air. And for the defensive coaches, what I'm hearing, I'm seeing, Micah made another comment about, because it is not fair for Micah to keep having to, you got these players and they be really good, and then they got to keep learning new systems, and they got to be professional and just keep learning new systems. But it is what it is. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and hopefully this is one that can stay, that can stick. Hopefully this coordinator is one that can stick. Hopefully, you got your boy Matt Eberflus. Hopefully he is because he's always been a linebacker whisperer. Now, I mean, he's coached some Hall of Fame linebackers. A lot of coaches can't make that jump to being head coach, but I mean, Matt Eberflus, hopefully he has, because other coordinators like Vic Fangio, they were able to change with the game. So just because he's running a certain defense, that doesn't mean that he can't change with the game. And so we're gonna see for sure if he can, and if he can't. And then, like I was saying earlier on the last show with Star, the juice is gonna be with the position coaches. The linebackers coaches, the defensive line coaches, the defensive pass game coordinators, the secondary coaches. That's who you got to worry about. The overall scheme is probably going to be fine, because, I mean, in today's NFL, you just run a multiple D, and coordinators have characteristics. Some coordinators like to rush the passer. Some coordinators like to intercept the ball, get your hands on the ball. Some do this and some do that. So we've seen that our defense can do pretty good on both. We've seen our defense doing takeaways when Dan Quinn was here. We seen last year that our defense was really focused on stopping the run, and so this year we're gonna see what Eberflus likes to do. Does he like to rush the passer? Does he like to stop the run? Does he want to focus on that? Is he focusing on taking the ball away? Is that his focus? So we'll figure out. Like I think that Spagnolo, his thing is confusion. He likes to confuse the other quarterback. You know, and that works. So we just have to figure out what Eberflus is going to be. But as long as we got Micah and we got the other players on our team, I think the defense is going to be all right. I want to see us. I want to see us go full speed into. I want to see us go full speed and full throttle into adding players on offense, like we did that one year when Dan Quinn went crazy on the defense. He went crazy on the defense and added all those picks on the defense. I want to see them do the same thing on offense this year. That's what I want to see. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I've seen people that talk about him. He was DeMarcus Ware's coach for a minute, and the whole time he was here, our linebackers were really good. The only time my linebacking play went down was the last year or so with Dan Quinn, when the front office, not Dan Quinn, just decided that they were not that interested in linebacker play. It started with LVE when he got hurt. LVE, if he had been with any other organization, his career would have wrapped up 2-3 years earlier than it did. And we talked about Nick Bolton. Shout out to Brian Broaddus. This week on his show, he's been talking about Nick Bolton. And matter of fact, I know you've been hearing this probably. Your camera went off.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But Brian Broaddus, what he's been talking about, he's been saying that he think if he had a choice, he would sign Nick Bolton over Odigizua. That's what Brian Broaddus is saying. So, and one of the reasons he's saying that is because Odigizua, I think his contract is going to be, it's not going to be affordable for that. It's not like you said, they can sign anybody. I just don't think they're going to want to spend that much money on Odigizua. They're probably going to look at some different types of defensive linemen, but Brian Broaddus is saying that we ought to go after Nick Bolton, and I kind of agree with that. I mean, I like the way he plays, and he would be basically your linebacker for the next several years. He would be the green dot guy, and he would be the headliner in your linebacking crew. So I like that move. If you're talking about trying to make a move to get someone, I think also that's kind of realistic. I think that. And then what are we hearing too is that he's going to just move Michael around. He knows what he's dealing with Michael. He's not going to come in here and just come up with some kind of plain Jane idea to get Michael involved. He knows he's got to do something to keep Michael motivated and keep him excited. So that's kind of where I see. So we're going to have to see how it all plays out. And we got to see also what kind of players they bring in free agency. And we've seen in free agency years past, you ain't got to spend a whole lot to do this.
One thing that worries me is that we have this thing now that that Steven and Jerry have done to where we always getting fleeced. We always getting done. When we trade and when we bringing in free agency, they don't know how to structure contracts properly. They don't know how to trade picks properly. So free agency is one thing. But we need to, if we're going to go after somebody, like trading somebody, I want to see them do that. And I want to see them do that well. I want to see them go after a position of need and trade for it and get someone at the top of the market. Whether that's, it wouldn't be running back because it's not that, well, it can be anybody because you're trading. So whether that's running back or whether that's,
so what are you trading to? Because you don't have a fourth. You don't really have players that people want. So what are you trading?
you can trade anything. It just makes it. It's as long as it makes sense. You can trade. You can trade anything as long as it makes sense. You can trade. You can trade next year's first round pick if you getting somebody that's like Myles Garrett. So you can
Yeah.
trade anything. You can trade. You can trade next year's second and a third if you want to, if you getting the right person. So you can know what I
Yeah, I
mean. Like,
mean,
so it just it just needs to make sense. I want to see them,
well,
like for instance,
mhm.
we have enough to get Tyreek Hill. We do.
Well, I think I like where you're going. What I agree with. One thing I will say is when trades are done in the NFL, typically we're surprised how much the cost is not as much as we think. So we've seen fifth round picks get traded for players. So I do. We have 3 fifth round picks, and so the problem that we've had over the years is other teams are doing those kind of trades, but the Cowboys are not. They're giving up way too much. Case in point, you could have traded a fifth or a sixth for Mingo. They traded a fourth. So, I mean, I agree with that part. You can trade some picks, but the concern with them is that they give up, too much. So, uh, yeah, like Cooper Cup, you could trade for him, and you wouldn't have to give up a lot to get him.
Yeah, but see, the only thing about that is that's Sean McVay. Sean McVay, you know, they you know how they get down.
Yeah,
Cooper Cup will be traded for something high, you
yeah,
know. So but yeah, I mean, so that's what I think. I think they should be. I want to see. I want to see them get busy in the draft too. Like if they can trade back a couple spots, if that's available. If somebody wants to trade up and get somebody, and they know that they can trade back and still pick up one of the top receivers or Genty. I want to see them do that. I want to see them, trade back a couple spots and maybe pick up a couple more picks or trade up and get someone. I want to see them. I want to see them do that instead of show us that you all are interested in that. Show us that you all are really involved and really, know what you're doing. Honestly, at this point, I know I'm not. I'm on team. Coaches don't pick players. That I'm on that bandwagon, but with I'm not on that bandwagon when you got Steven and Jerry and Will McClay picking players. I'm not on that bandwagon either. So I don't know who I want to pick the players because I don't want Steven and Jerry. I don't want Steven saying, Will, who do you think we should pick right now? And then Will McClay jumps out there and says Mozzie. I don't want him to ask Will McClay that, and then Will McClay jumps out there and says he wants a tackle because we don't. We need that position because Zach Martin is not retired or a guard because we need that position. And here you go. I want someone. I want the coach to come in. I want Brian Schottenheimer to be like, nah, I need offensive weapons for my offense to run this year. Defense is straight. I'm a CEO coach. I want offensive weapons. Now y'all put y'all scouting brains on and put them together and go get me a weapon. Go get me we want to run the ball. I got to come out of this draft with a top running back. We
yeah.
want we CD needs help. Got to come out of this draft with a top wide receiver. I'm not telling y'all who to draft and where to draft them, but that's what they need to be.
Well, I think that on the draft, to me, I don't even think this is going to be a hard draft. What they have to do is just, um, use good sound, decisions. And on skill players, it's going to either be Genty. You got the running back from North Carolina. You got other running backs. You got the two from Ohio State. You really can't mess up the running back draft if you want to draft around. That's between rounds 1 through 3. And
Nah,
it's also the same with receiver. If you want a
well,
receiver in this draft, 1 through 3, it's not going to be that hard.
it might be hard for running back because they're gonna go 1 and 2. I believe that they're gonna go 1 and 2 because there's a lot of teams that are not. Uh, I don't want to say. There's a lot of teams that are not cash strapped or that's not drafting for need. So it's a lot of teams that's gonna be able to take running backs in the first round because they're there and they're good. They're gonna be taking BPA, and it's gonna be some players. It's gonna be some running backs. Once we get outside of Genty, once you get outside of like number 20, maybe I say number maybe 18, no 17. Once you get outside like 17 and pick around one, the running backs are gonna start being the best player available after you get past like 17. So it's gonna be some teams in the back of the first round that's gonna be picking running backs, and they're gonna be picking all of them. They're gonna be picking Omarion Hampton. He gonna go I think he gonna go at the end of the first round or at the beginning of the second. And the same thing with the rest of them. They're gonna just start going at the end of the first, at the beginning of the second. So if you the Cowboys and you didn't trade it back in the second round, or you didn't trade, or you stand pack in the second round, you might be able to get one of the running backs.
So we can do a mock draft. We can actually do a couple, and what we're gonna be looking for in this we're gonna do a mock draft where we're looking at running back and receiver the first 2 rounds, and we'll just see how it turns out. I think it's gonna be ways for us to do that. You want to go ahead and pull one up?
Yeah.
So the first one, we want to try to trade back about 4 spots. See what we get.
This is going too slow, so hold on. I'm gonna do another one where I speed it up.
So what determines the speed?
Me right here when I select draft speed.
Oh, okay.
I hit normal on the other one, so now I'm gonna hit fast on this one. All right, so we want to trade back how many spots? You said?
I don't want to go back. That's going to be 9 spots. I don't want to go back that far.
That's 8 spots. So, all right. So right now we got Ashton Genty right here. If me, I'm taking him right now.
So let's take Genty, and we'll do another one. We'll do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
And then right here, that's going from what?
44, and you picking up 102 and 119.
I don't want to go that far.
No, this is going back to 97. I don't want to go that far either. But you picking up 2026 second and 2026 third now.
Yeah.
In real life, I don't know. In real life, I probably would. But okay, so let's reject that. Right here, you got to get a receiver, but Kenneth Grant is right there. So in real life, I would take Kenneth Grant.
Yeah, you're taking Kenneth Grant. So he's at what? Pick number
31.
What?
Pick number 44.
So how do we? Let me ask you this: why is Kenneth Grant falling into the second round? I've seen that a couple of times. What's happening with that?
He just not rated as high as the other guy from Michigan. He not.
So on Tankathon, they got him in the first round. But yeah, we taking him right here for sure.
Yeah, we taking him. And
let me look at something right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, look at Tankathon and see.
On Tankathon has always had him in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But no, go ahead. You looking at yours?
Tankathon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tankathon got him going. Tankathon got him going 25th. So let me see.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. I don't know.
Tankathon got him going 30th. So
they do. So that he might get there. So let's keep going with this one. Now, who's the highest ranked receiver? If you just go to receiver, now right there, before we do that, who they got up there? T.J. Sanders. Who is that?
DT from South Carolina. We just took Grant, so it'll be
So Jaden Higgins is there. Have you been watching him? I have.
Is he good?
He's good. He's kind of like a poor man's Tet. He's a tall guy. He would be okay. What's the next ranked receiver they have? Let me see.
Tez Johnson.
Now, understand too, they got him going 2 spots later. He's 72 and 74.
Yeah.
So I would take Tez Johnson. The Oregon coach, the receivers coach is from Oregon. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And that's where Tez Johnson is from. So if this is the Cowboys, they probably take Tez Johnson. But you got to watch Jaden Higgins because he's rising up on a lot of people's boards. Where is Savion? Is he gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tez Johnson, to me, he's kind of a poor man's Xavier Worthy. He would be a good player for us. So let's go ahead and take him.
I mean, we can look at Ted Johnson real quick.
I've watched him and Jaden Higgins. Tez Johnson is he's a skinny guy. He's not big. He's fast. He's a weapon.
So he would be good.
Now we getting down to our 5th round.
Oh, we ain't got no 5th.
Yeah, so he's not an X. I was right. So this only goes 3 rounds.
Well, I only did it to 4.
Okay, yeah, I got you. This would be like a knockout draft. This would be like an A+ draft if it fell this way. But
well.
This is Tez. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Xavier Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's fast.
Hey, what was that? I was watching a running back last night, and I was really, really, really impressed with this running back that I was watching, and I got trying to figure out who it was. I was really impressed.
I didn't know Tez Johnson ran punts.
And I remember that's what I told you. That's what I be looking for. If your receiver can run punts, he gonna be dynamic. Because remember I told you, CD did that.
Hey, what is Tez Johnson running the 40? I know it's gonna be the combine is gonna do all of that, but
let's see.
He's 4.4. He don't look that fast to me.
Uh, 4.3.
Yeah, the Cowboys could have had. They did a redraft on 105.3, and Xavier Worthy was the pick over Guyton. So let's go ahead and do our next mock draft.
I would take Tez Johnson.
Watch Jaden. Go pull up Jaden Higgins. Tell me what you think. So he's 6'4",
210.
He's an X.
I mean, I like Tez Johnson because he got yak yard after catch. He got that right going on right now. But I like this guy's size.
Oh yeah, he can run he can be. If I'm going old school, he would definitely be like an Alvin Harper type that run the post, make the big plays.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. He looked like the safety blanket for this guy right here. He not doing nothing special after the catch, but he just catching the ball and it's just like he just there.
And that's kind of what Tez does, but Tez is faster. He has more yak.
I know that was ice right there. So.
But this is the kind of receiver they like. They like receivers like this. Why I say they? That's what Steven and McClay like. I don't know about Schottenheimer.
I haven't seen one play yet where he didn't catch the ball and immediately get down.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's a possession guy. If he run the post, run the flag, you get down in the red zone. But Tez, they different kind of receivers.
Yeah.
Now, I also want to get your input on Trey Harris because Trey Harris, to me, when I'm watching Trey Harris, man, it's kind of hard to get a fix on him. When I watch Trey Harris, he kind of looks like Brooks to me a little bit, and I'm trying to
I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna say from what I before I lose my train of thought on that, I would take him over Tez,
Who?
the guy we just watched.
You would take Higgins?
Yeah,
He's going up the board. This is
because
Trey Harris.
he's just a
And Trey
bigger receiver.
and Trey Harris has the rack.
Yeah, yeah, I
He
watched
got-
him before. He's good.
So would you take Trey Harris, Tez, or Higgins if you had to pick?
To me, I would take Harris, but this guy right here, he reminds me of what they thought Mingo was gonna be.
Yeah, and they go to the same school. But Mingo is not quick as him. He's not Mingo to me. He's a heavier guy. I don't understand why they think that a guy playing receiver can be, just a heavier guy. That doesn't, you know.
Yeah, no, I would stay away from Trey Harris.
Yeah, Mingo, he get 10 or 15 more pounds. He's a tight end. I don't understand why they think that's a good receiver.
I want to show you this guy that I was looking at that we can get.
But these are your choices in the third round. You're gonna be looking at Tez Johnson, Trey Harris, or Mingo. But let's do this mock draft, and this time let's take a receiver in the first round.
Okay.
Then we looking at our running backs.
You said let's take a receiver.
Yeah, let's take a receiver this time. That way you're gonna have to take your D line and your running back in the second and third. Because I think Genty's gonna be gone. That's what I think.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think Genty's gonna be there.
Well, I'm kind of split. I'm kind of torn because I think that if it goes like you would think that it would go, then he would be gone. But I don't think that teams are going to be bold enough to pick him that high.
You don't think the Saquon effect is gonna push him up the board?
Nah, I would say this. I don't think it's gonna push him up the board to where he getting picked before 12.
Also, we saw some things. I've been seeing some things recently that Ted is falling to 12.
Yeah, and that is what I've been telling everybody. That would be a better bang for your buck if you had to choose between Ted and Genty, because you can get Omarion only if you get Omarion Hampton or one of them in the second round. You would probably want to take Ted, because if you take Genty, you're not going to be able to get Luther or any of them in the second round. Your picks are going to be Trey Harris, Higgins, and Tez. But if you do it the opposite way, then you have better players, because you would get Ted, and then you get like the second or third best running back, and instead of getting the best running back and the fifth or sixth best wide receiver.
So right here, let's reject this, and we're gonna take a receiver at 12. What I want to do is trade down from 2. So let's take. So who's
Matthew Golden shouldn't be there.
Burden was at the top.
Oh yeah, so I'm taking Burden, taking Luther Burden, or let's see, and we got taking Luther Burden, and
so where did Ted go?
Ted went to number 1.
Yeah, that's where they getting that from? I don't know. And then
where
did
is
Genty went 6?
Where is what's the name at on this draft? Travis Hunter is still here.
Ain't no way.
Now I'm taking Travis Hunter if he was still there.
Yeah, but we know that's not realistic. Let's go ahead and take Luther. I don't know what's up with this draft, because Travis
and
Hunter,
Tyler Warren there. So you said you would take Tyler Warren over Luther.
I know I wouldn't. I would take Tyler Warren if we was washed out.
Okay, so Luther, I'll take Luther. So you want to trade down from 2
if we can.
And they want us to trade down 10 spots, but 11 spots, but they want us to trade down but they want to give us this, and then they want to give us a second. So we really wouldn't be able to take advantage of that.
And that's in 26.
Yeah, so no, we're gonna reject that.
Yeah, this algorithm on this thing is weird. So right here we going.
Yeah.
Why they
We
putting
did
all
it
this?
in the 26 on here. I mean, that's just kind of how this thing go. It just, we could do another one. It'll be totally different.
So right
So,
here we looking for a runner, but let's see who the
Marion
best.
Hampton.
He's on there.
Yeah.
Who's the best? Yeah, you got to take. So let's take Hampton there. That's a slam dunk.
Wide receiver. Then we got to take a DT.
Any kind of trades? You going 76 to 101.
But you're picking
Again,
up
they
Nick
talking about
26.
26.
Now, this is a good one right here. They want you to go back 9 spots, but they want you to pick up 121 coming from 190. So I would do that.
So let's do that.
And then I'm gonna reject that. And then so we got to get a DT. Deion Walker is there. Barrett Carter is the linebacker that's there. Scatterboo is there. So let's just look at DTs. I'll just go up here and click on this and then click DT. So you see any of these names look familiar to you? Jordan Phillips, any of these names look familiar? Deion Walker, he's rated number 50. I'd probably say that'd be your best bet.
He's a defensive tackle from Kentucky.
Yeah, let me see where he's rated on here on Tankathon. What's his name? Deion Walker. He's ranked number 53. He's 6'6", 350, 345. Oh yeah, I think I've seen him play. He looked like a man amongst men.
That would be the pick, yeah. So let's go ahead and take him.
I mean, a man, whatever, however you say it. He looks
Man
like
among boys.
Yeah.
So
it's another good one right here. They want you to trade back 3 spots and pick up 177, which you don't have.
Let's take that.
What's up with this? They want.
Now reject that, yeah.
Okay,
so now we're at 124. That's in what round?
This is round 4, which we don't have. What we got. So Terrence Ferguson. Why does that name sound familiar? Jay Higgins, the Iowa linebacker, is here. Ollie Gordon is there. I would take him.
Running back.
Yep. Danny Stutzman is there. We always watch him.
I would take Ollie Gordon.
Yeah, me too.
And they probably will be looking for a linebacker right here, but that's one of the things.
They would take Jay Higgins. He's a number 1 rated. Let me see where he's rated on Tankathon. He's not rated on Tankathon. And we said Ollie Gordon, right?
Yeah, I think
Ollie Gordon is rated on Tankathon, so we had to take.
We'll take Ollie Gordon because I'm assuming that Rico's not re-signing.
Yeah, I'm assuming that too. Ollie Gordon it is. All right. So again, this is a A+ draft right here. This is an A+ draft. Let's look at Deion Walker real quick. This is an A+ draft. This guy right here is a baller. Let's see. He jumps off the screen. Let's see. Because I watched him before. I have him. Yeah, it's number Z. He number 0, I think. The big guy right there. I mean, yeah, look at him. He's huge. You see that?
And what's his name again?
Deion Walker. He's just big. You know what I'm saying? He like 6'4". Yeah, You know, he the guy that the Eagles would draft. You know,
Yeah.
he like that. He like Jordan Davis. He like that. You know what I'm saying? He big, fast. Look at him. He huge compared to these guys. See what I'm saying? Look how big he is. He looked like a Dallas Cowboy defensive tackle.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Mm-hmm. You know, especially if you're looking for somebody that can just the ball is snap, all they got to do is stand up and be impactful. That's who this is, because he's huge. He can't. He get to the NFL, he put on some muscle, put on some more weight. Ain't no tackles gonna just ain't no guards gonna be just bulldozing him.
And I'm really trying to get a feel for how Eberflus is gonna play this thing. You know, what kind of players that he like, and so that's you was talking about that earlier about coaches picking players and the scouts.
Yeah,
I just think they're gonna have to be active in free agency. They cannot go into the draft. And when I say active in free agency, you're not just going out there getting the big names. You're getting guys. Keep in mind. Derrick Henry and Saquon, when you looked at what they played for this year, it wasn't a lot.
well, that's not going to happen again. So,
when I'm just talking about just players in general, you can fill your roster with players that are making $7 or $8 million a year. You can get multiple players like that with that kind of salary. That's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah.
So that's they're going to have to roll up their sleeves and get to work. Let's go ahead. Let's do another mock. And this time we want to trade down. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take one of them trade downs to 20, and we're gonna look for this time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna trade down to 20, whatever, and then we're gonna take Ibuka and let's see how it plays out. And this might be a realistic opportunity too.
They want you to trade down to 23 and
So
pick up 54. That's cool with me.
Yeah, let's do that. So let's go to 23, and hopefully we'll see Golden or Ibuka right there.
Ibuka right there, but they want you to trade down to 51, pick up 85, 121.
No, we're gonna reject that.
They want you to pick up 38 and 69, trade down from 23.
Yeah, reject.
48, 98. Okay, so we picking Ibuka. They want you to trade down to 64 from 44 and pick up.
Reject that.
They want you to trade down. Okay. And then Jihad Campbell is there. Who do we pick first? We picked Ibuka. So we need a running back. Caleb Johnson is there. Quincy Judkins, Travion is there. And you got Jihad Campbell right there.
So Brian Broaddus, they don't like the linebackers. They're not a big fan of Jihad Campbell. So in this scenario, is Junkins or Travion Harris available? But you said Caleb Williams is rated higher.
Yeah, he rated way higher. He's rated 51, and they are rated 61 and 63.
Yeah, you're gonna take Caleb Williams right here. So that gives you your receiver and your running back.
Caleb Johnson. Okay, so reject. They want you to go down 4 spots and pick up 91. So I'm doing that.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Okay, I'm gonna reject that. And then so now we got our running back, we got our receiver. So now we
still in the second round.
Yeah, and Deion Walker is right there.
So you're gonna take him.
Yeah.
What about this other guy that's rated higher?
He's an offensive tackle from Arizona.
Oh, that's offensive. Okay, so you got your defensive tackle, Deion Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and then we're gonna reject that. And then they want you to they want you to pick up. They want you to go down 13 spots, but you pick up 127. You don't have a fourth. You can go down 13 spots. Dude, I don't see anybody right here that I would want anyway.
So go ahead and reject. I think they would trade down, but go ahead and you rejected. That's okay. Now you took Caleb Quinn Jenkins
No,
is there.
I took Egbuka, Caleb, Deion Walker.
So now we're in the what
So
round?
we are in the third. And
Mm,
Restrepo, you said you don't like Restrepo.
I don't.
Uh, Jalen Royals is there.
Who they got at the very top up there?
Quinshawn Judkins, which is who I would take.
Yep, that's who I would take. Let's see, you got Mason Taylor. We don't want him. He's a tight end. Scroll down. There's a lot of good players on there at the receiver position, man.
Kyron Lacey, I'm tired. Jalen Royals, I would take one of them.
But we got Ibuka, so I would take Jenkins.
Yeah, me too. But also, that's what I was going to show you. This is what I was looking at. Okay, now they want you to pick it. They want you to move back one, and you pick up 146. So obviously, we got to accept that.
So what round we in for our next pick? Because we got to start looking at defensive tackles if any are available. Well, we got a defensive tackle, but we need a linebacker.
Yeah, but they got another Shamar Turner is right here. We always look at him.
He's a what?
Defensive tackle.
Yeah, you take him right here.
You want me to accept this trade, move back one pick?
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna reject the rest of these. Yeah, so I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him. Make sure I'm just gonna look it down here and make sure nobody just jump off the screen. But yeah, I'm gonna take him, Shamar Turner. And now we in the fourth round pick. Now we in the fourth round, which I guess we don't have a fourth. Golly, look at all of these. Look at this is another slam dunk draft. This is A+. Got Igbuka. You got the starting wide receiver outside of CD. You got your starting running back. You got your backup running back. You got a starting DT. You got two starting DTs because they both gonna start. And then you got a 2026 Green Bay second. So this again, all of these players right here, they're all gonna be playing this year. They all gonna be impact players. All of them.
So the one pushback I have is we got to look at how realistic is these scenarios. I've been seeing some of the people that I follow post some, and some they look like this, and I'm just saying to myself, man, is this realistic?
This is what I was telling you yesterday. We can do 1,000 of these, and we'll never come up with what they gonna do.
Yeah,
because this is how they do. Now let's do one, and then let's just do one and don't trade, or let's do one. Well, and act like them.
We gonna set this up before April, the end of April. We're gonna call it a what the hell draft. Okay, yeah, and what the hell draft is when the Cowboys, they've done it 2 years in a row. So I was telling Star. I really kind of got off into the content creators for the first time during the draft, where Schoon and Mozzie was taken, and I was watching Fuster King, Vach, and Will Steele. I was watching them. My first time really just kind of connecting with them as far as content creators. Didn't know a whole lot about them. That's how I got started doing content creators. And then that draft, it was a what the hell draft. Each pick, when those picks were announced, Will Steele, Vach, and Fuss were kind of like, what the hell? Now, Vach, he liked Mozzie, but he didn't like Mozzie where they took him. But when they draft Schoon, I can't remember which one of the guys it was. They literally like put their headset down and just, well, no, they didn't leave the shot, but they all just kind of like, they were just stunned that Schoon was taken. So we're going to do another. Did you already pick somebody?
Savion.
With what?
A second round pick.
Who was the first?
I
was talking. Okay, I thought we was doing a what the hell draft. So this is still just a regular draft?
Yeah, I'm just doing a regular draft without no trade.
Okay, so yeah, your Genty was number 1.
Yeah.
Savion was 2.
Yep.
I mean, this is an A+ so far. Your guy Azariah Thomas was up there, but who's the number one player they got up there?
TJ Sanders. I've been hearing a lot about him. We ain't seen him yet. I haven't seen him. So
He's
let's
a
check him
defensive
out.
tackle.
Yeah. Let's check him out. Is that who we was just watching? Why is he highlighted? Okay, let's
No,
check
we
him.
weren't watching him. Azariah Thomas is a couple of picks below.
That's who I'm taking. And that's probably who they
You
gonna
finna watch the
take. But
defensive tackle?
yeah, I'm watching him. Oh, you can't see it? Oh, my bad.
No, I can't see it.
He number 90 right there.
He look quick off the ball. He moving the pile.
Hmm. You can't go wrong with him. You can't go wrong with him. I would take him. You can't go wrong with him. I would take TJ Sanders. He looks good. He fits the bill. But me personally, I just like Azariah Thomas because I like his personality. I like his swag. I just like him, and then he won.
I'll be honest. We probably need him more than the other guy.
Yeah, Wanye. I like Wanye. Wanye, one of my favorite players. But his brother is Cole too. So, I would take him. This is just my pick. He got that cornerback swag. He talk noise and he just do it. You see that? Like, ain't nobody making that play like that. Did you see that play?
Yeah, I saw it.
Come on now. Yeah, nah. He with the business. He is. He with the business. He play. He good. He's a playmaker. As a matter of fact, if we was to pick him, he gonna play more than Wanye.
Oh yeah.
He'll take Wanye's spot.
Wanye's playing safety, but
yeah, come on.
Wanye may have to play this year because I don't think
they bring him homeboy back.
Donovan Wilson or the other corner. I mean, the other safety.
They'll bring Donovan Wilson back. They're not bringing Malik Hooker back.
See, I think it's the opposite.
I heard Brody say that.
He agreed with you or agree with me?
No, he said that he don't think that they're bringing Malik Hooker back, and that if anybody was gonna stay, it's gonna be homeboy.
Donovan Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but I would say this: if it was up to me, I would keep Donovan Wilson. But Donovan Wilson is just not a free safety. You play him right. See, it took Zim about 8 or 9 games to figure out how to play Donovan Wilson.
Got to play him close to the ball.
Yeah, you got to. But see, Eberflus plays a lot of cover too, so Donovan Wilson can't play cover too.
Well, I'll put it like this. I think this pick right here is going to be the Jordan Lewis makeup pick. They'll pick him and not sign Jordan Lewis.
I don't think they're gonna sign Jordan Lewis because they're not gonna be able to afford him. I'm predicting 2 players with 3. The Cowboys are not going to be able to afford them. They're going to go for generational money. People don't. You need to go back and look at Jordan Lewis contracts over the years. He hasn't made a lot of money, so I think he's gonna go. He's gonna go for the money. He's not going to stay here and take a low deal. And Steven probably won't even reach out to Jordan Lewis. That's just the way he does things. But
I'm about to say, if it was me, I would pay Jordan Lewis generational money.
Well, the Cowboys are not doing that. Now, what you got to look at too, you got to look at the Commanders roster. If they got a spot for Jordan Lewis, that's who's going to go after him, and they're going to pay him.
Or homeboy that went where did he go? Where did Al Harris go?
He went to Detroit. It's a lot of it's weird how when these coaches leave, you start hearing things. They're saying people at the start didn't like Al Harris. They didn't like him. So that's weird.
Now, I'm just saying this off of this right here because I was looking at this last night and I was just looking at this and I was just thinking the reason why I think Jordan Lewis might be back is because I don't see many people on here that they are bringing back for sure. Like DeMarcus Lawrence, he's gone. We know that. Brandon Cooks, he's probably gone. We know that. Trey Lance, he probably gone. We know that. Eric Kendricks, he probably gone. We know that. Brian Anger, they're going to bring him back. Let's skip Jordan Lewis. Linval Joseph, he gone. We know that. Cooper Rush, they're going to bring him back. CJ Goodwin, they're going to bring him back. Chuma Edoga, they're gonna bring him back. But other than that, I don't really see, Osa and Rico.
Do you have a list of the free agents by themselves?
This is what that is.
Oh, okay. That's the free
This,
agent list.
yes. This is look at right. This right here means unrestricted free agent.
Yeah. So what I was telling you earlier, and I was talking to Star about this the other night. When you look at this list, they're gonna have to be active in free agency. They don't have a choice. You can't field a team with just draft picks. So
Let's
they're
look
gonna
and
have
see how many starters are on this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You count Rico and Chauncey.
7, 8.
Now Brock Hoffman is not unrestricted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got to look at the unrestricted.
Right. So 7 starters on this list.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And the same with the Commanders with Tank. If the Commanders have a
10.
slot for Tank, that's where he's going.
It's 10 players on this list that are starters. Zach Martin 1, DeMarcus Lawrence 2, Brandon Cooks 3, Eric Kendricks 4, Jordan Lewis 5, CJ Goodwin 6, Chuma Edoga 7, Oso Odigizua 8, Rico Dowdle 9, Chauncey Golston is not a starter.
Now the one thing I would say about Rico, we just saw the mock drafts. It's a lot of running backs in the draft.
Yeah, we can count it out.
It's a possibility that Rico doesn't get an offer because teams can just draft a back. But
oh yeah, that's true too. Now my battery about to go dead. It's not about to go dead. I got 10%, so I got to do this real fast. Now I want to tell you, and we got to wrap up. Now I want you to tell me what you thought about this guy, because to me, I was trying to figure out. Now he just got cut. Now I'll be trying to get him. Now, hold on 1 second. Make sure I can play it without no
who is this?
Ads. Raheem Mostert. Now he is a free agent. Now he got released. But let's just look at him play.
You gotta look at him this past season because he's an older back.
Well, this is the 2023 season.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta look at what does he look like lately compared to Rico.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I always liked him.
Yeah, he and he's a veteran, so this is somebody that you can just bring in. You probably don't have to pay him like Rico. You probably can just pay him you can pay him a good salary. You ain't got to break the bank on him, but he gonna do tremendous.
Yeah, he's a guy that I've always been interested in. But going back to my point earlier, just understand what I'm saying. When we talk about free agency this offseason, it's going to be several players that the Cowboys can get and can afford. He's going to be on the list. They can get defensive tackles. They can get linebackers. They're going to have to. The key thing is you're not breaking the bank with these guys. You can bring in these guys and pay them $6-7 million a piece. And fit them in your cap. That's what other teams have been doing. We don't do that. That's how the Ravens and the Eagles and the Chiefs and the 49ers, every offseason they do this. They bring in guys that can play, but they're not paying them a boatload of money. So just add him to the list. You can get him.
He would go to the Eagles. He would go to the Commanders or the Giants or the 49ers.
And when you look at his salary, he's not going to be making a lot. We can do this. And I'm going to do you one better. We need to get a veteran receiver, and it's not going to cost a lot. Now,
he be making $5 million.
They all got issues. Stephon Diggs is coming off a knee injury. Who was the other guy we were looking at? Amari Cooper. To me, Amari Cooper, he looks older. He don't look like he's in great shape. But he's not going to cost a lot. That's what we're talking about. So you got to
And he's
get.
and he's on point with Dak already. You ain't got to
He's
do
on
nothing.
point with Dak. I'm sure. I can guarantee you, whatever happened with Amari Cooper with the Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer can get on the phone with Amari Cooper and take care of all of that. It's not going to be an issue. Now we hearing that McCarthy didn't like him.
Yeah,
So
that's what we heard. That's what we heard the deal was. But
now if they want to get Amari Cooper, it's not going to take a lot. So that's what they're going to have to do. They have to do that at linebacker too. They're going to have to go get some veteran linebackers. They're
bring Eric
paying.
Kendricks.
You can bring Kendricks back. You can also Nick Bolton could be your big free agent. If you're telling me your
I'm
big free
thinking,
agent is Nick Bolton and you letting
yeah,
Odigizua go, I'm
yeah,
fine with that.
yeah. After you said that, I was thinking like me. I'm just saying to myself, he gonna be on our team. Nick Bolton gonna be on our team. Raheem
And
Mostert should be on
and
our team.
Nick Bolton is from here. He's from this area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
So
what else ties him to us besides that?
that's it.
Oh
But
no,
but
he
keep
should
in
be
mind,
here.
he I think he already has 2 rings, so he's not doing it for the rings.
Yeah, no, I would get him here. Let him
So
retire here. Let's just get him
Brian
here.
Broaddus was saying that's if they had to take a choice, make a selection there on make a choice. I mean, who they gonna take, Nick Bolton or Odigizua? He says Nick Bolton is gonna be less in terms
Now
of the contract.
you put Nick Bolton in this defense, he'd be a perennial starter. It'd be lights out. He will be a starter, and with your coordinator being Matt Eberflus, that's his position,
And then
linebacker. That he
let's say you get Nick Bolton and you drafted Jahad Campbell, or again, you get you another veteran linebacker that just pairs with him. The Chiefs a few years back, they signed a linebacker. What was his name? He's been on the last 3 teams they had. He was a free agent pickup. What's
wasn't
his
Damian
name?
Wilson.
No, we talking about the last couple of teams. What's his name? It'll come to me later, but he's a starting linebacker for the Chiefs. They picked him up just like I'm talking about. He wasn't a big free agent. He came in and he balled. He was the other linebacker with Nick Bolton.
Cam Jones or Trent McDuffie, Leo Chanel or Drew Tranquil.
Tranquil, that's it.
Yeah, Tranquil.
Tranquil was a guy they just picked up. He was a free agent, didn't pay a lot for him. He balled out. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to do that. The defensive tackle, the linebacker, and the receiver.
Now, just think about it like this. If you was to draft, if you was to try get Nick Bolton on this team, and then you draft Jahad Campbell, when Agent Zero come back, you might have the best linebacker core in the league.
Yeah. Or you just have Nick Bolton and Agent Zero if he's ready to play.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but again, you got to get you a defensive tackle. You got to get you a receiver. You need to go get a veteran. Look, let me tell you something. It's another content creator, and then we can wrap. I know it's landlord for sure. It's another content creator. They're saying we need to clean house on our receiver room. You do not need to go into the season with Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, and Mingo. You're gonna know how serious the Cowboys about winning when you break training camp. If Mingo, Tolbert, and Brooks, if they're one of your first 3 receivers, it's a wrap. You cannot break training camp unless one of those guys I mentioned is your 4th receiver. They can't be 1, 2, or 3.
If this was my team, I would have CD, Egbuka, Trey Harris, Tez, one of them, and Amari Cooper. That would be my 3.
Yeah. And then your 4th receiver can be Tolbert.
That'll be it.
Or Mingo.
No, it'd be Tolbert.
Yeah, and then you set. But Steven and McClay, they're gonna try to do everything they can to make Tolbert and Mingo your 2nd and 3rd receiver. When they do that, you can forget it. It's not happening.
Yeah, you can forget it. And then, that's pretty much enough said right there. That's exactly what you can forget it if that happens. There's a few dominoes that we need to fall, and that's gonna be one of them. If that domino falls, then the rest of them is over. So, it's been a good show. I had another point. I was finna say something. I forgot. It was Hmm. Uh, man, what we talking about before we talk about that?
We
Oh,
were just
what I was
talking
gonna
about
say
that.
is, what I was gonna say is, this draft to me is really scary because this draft, the way that we've doing it, the way, like for instance, like I said last night, me and you just did 4 or 5 mock drafts, doing all the scenarios, right? All of the scenarios, trading back, not trading back, all of that, right? And we had an A+ draft every single time, did we not?
Yep.
So it's just like this is scary to me because I feel like this draft is shaping up to be exactly what the Cowboys need. Every position that they need is going to be on the table when they pick. If they need a running back at 12, they're going to be able to pick one. They need a wide receiver at 12, they're going to be able to pick one of the best one. The same with the second round pick. If you pick the running back in the first round, you're going to have a good selection of wide receivers to pick in the second round. If you pick the wide receiver in the first round, you're going to have a good selection of running backs to pick in the second round. And the same thing with the defensive tackles. When you get to the third round, there are good defensive tackles there. Deion Walker, we just seen them. The TJ Sanders, we just seen them. So they're gonna be there. All you got to do is pick them. You know what I mean? At the worst, you might come out with Savion Williams in the second round. That was the most reaching I did in this whole draft, in this whole process. So it's just like, it's a lot of picks that are going to be right there for them to make. All they got to do is pick them. And it's going to be like that all the way out throughout the draft. So,
And it's been that way the last 3 or 4 years, and they just didn't do it.
Correct. So if this is going to be really
the way they drafted is put us in the hole that we're in now.
And
I would
really
even go
crazy.
back to that. I would go back to the last draft where they took Nealon, they reached.
Man.
They took Guyton, they reached. Brian Broaddus has been talking this week alone. They had Guyton as their 9th tackle. There was just no reason for them to take him right there. That was just,
and
that was
then
just
on top of
extremely
that,
dumb.
And on top of that, it's not like he gonna be able to get better. He might just be a bust altogether. He might just be a person that's just not good enough to play in the NFL.
Yeah, to me, he just doesn't have the build of a tackle. He looks like a defensive end or a tight end. And then
like power forward. And then on top of that, he don't want to play.
He's taking them. Vach has basically said he's taking himself out of games multiple times a year, but he just literally just came off the field like how the receiver, the running back tap their head.
Yeah,
he's done that in some games,
which is insane.
Now, here's the thing: the offensive line coaches that we just hired, boy, let me tell you something. They ain't going for none of that. So,
well, that's good.
It's gonna be ship up or shape out for him.
Okay, well, good. We'll see. We gonna see.
I think we done got lucky with these offensive line coaches.
Me too. Like Mozzie was able to stand in the fire. He was, and I give him credit for that because they was blasting him all year, and he stood in the fire and he started every game and he came out on top. He got better than what he started. So
the coaches that we hired, this is for any coach in the NFL. They're under the gun, so they're not gonna have no patience for guys that are not playing. If you're not playing up to par, these guys right here, they understand that their career, like Eberflus, this is his last shot. This is it.
This is his last shot. And he understands that too. So my laptop about to die, y'all. So this was a good show. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Please give us a like. We need our likes up. And please make sure you follow us. We've been hovering around 135 for the last month or so. And so make sure if you watch the show, make sure you give us a follow. If you comment, make sure you give us a follow and just get the likes up. If you made it this long, you stayed on the show this long, you got to at least give us a like. It's free. Just press the button. And so give us a like. Make sure you give us a follow on our Facebook and on our Twitter and on our follow my dad on Twitter at CowboyJoe64. He keep it live on Twitter. It be popping over there. And then go to our Facebook is Gen to Gen Cast, GEN2, the number 2, GENCAST. And also, what else am I forgetting? Oh, our Cash App is hashtag $ITUW. If you want to donate to us to help us keep our lights on and help us keep our internet going and help us keep our equipment up to par. And you can do that. And then also, yeah, just like I said again, make sure you like and make sure you hit the notification bell because we're starting to go live a lot more. And every time we go on, we go live pretty much. So you never know when we're gonna go live unless we text you or let you know or something like that. But if you hit the notification bell, you'll know every time we go live. It'll send you a notification, so you'll know. We appreciate everybody, all our loyal subscribers, all our fans, and everybody that's been reaching out. And stay tuned because we're gonna be doing a show with some more content creators, and we're gonna do another show with Star. Shout out to Stargazer Sports. Wonderful show last time, and so we're gonna keep that going. And we'll see y'all on the next one. You want to say what? Tell everybody, holla.
Appreciate you guys joining, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, peace.